Hiya, so this is a video to show you how to do the heart section of the granny square heart pattern. So I've done round 1 and I'm at this point, which is a bit just before round 2 starts, and this is where the first thing we need to do when we've got it to this point is we need to be starting on the next round in this corner here. So we need to do some slip stitches across to get to that corner. So our pattern tells us to slip stitch under the top of the next 2 double crochets. So it's literally where you would normally put your stitch. You do a slip stitch there, 1, 2, and then into, you slip stitch in this chain 3 space here, and that means we've moved our starting point to a corner. Round 2 is very similar to the first round, so I will go around. I'm hoping that you should manage that one okay. I just wanted to show you the slip stitches here, and I will meet you back at round 3. Okay, so I've finished round 2 and I have done some slip stitches to get me back into this starting corner space again, as the pattern tells me to, and now I'm ready for round 3. This is where we add the 2 humps for the heart. So chain 1, and then working into the side space. So the side space is here as opposed to one in a corner. So the space, because we're working in granny squares, we work into spaces generally rather than stitches. So it's the space there. We want to do 12 trebles. So a reminder that with a treble in US terms, you yarn over twice, and then once you're back through, you should have 4 loops, and then yarn pull through 1, 2 and 3. So I want to do that 12 times, so I shall meet you back once I've done that. Okay, so I've done my 12 trebles in that first side space there, and now in this corner space I just want to do a slip stitch. This is just to anchor those trebles, and then we're going to do exactly the same again. You see a heart starting to form there. We're going to do exactly the same again with the trebles and do another 12 in this space here. And then once we've done that, we'll have that nice rounded shape. Just a reminder, just in case you missed it that first time, this is how we do a treble, yarning over twice. In UK terms, this is called a double treble, by the way. And then into that space there in the middle, yarn over, pull through, and we should have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over the second 2, yarn over the third 2. Going to do that 12 times, so I'll meet you back here once I've done that. Hello, so we're back now, and I've done my 12 trebles here, and now in this corner space here I need to place a slip stitch just to anchor that down there. Okay, so there's our heart finished, and now I want you to fasten off, but stick with the same colour. We're just going to move the yarn from there to there. Okay, so we're going to fasten off here and then move it over to here. So one of the ways that you can join when you have something like, it's not like when it's changing colour in the bulk of your work, when you're adding some yarn onto an area, is if you put your hook in where you want to start your work, and then if you have a slip knot ready on your yarn, thread it on, just pull it tight so that it's nice and tight, and then you should have a loop sort of ready to go there. So you pull it and just get it to the right side. Make sure the knot of the slip knot stays towards the back, but it gives you your starting loop, and when you start doing some chains it will secure that on. So ideally you need to have weaved in those tails by now, but don't worry if you haven't. So again, it's the same colour as your heart that we're going to do, and we've got the front of the heart facing us, and we're joining the yarn here to this hole, the bottom of the right hand side. In the same space that I've just put my hook, I want to do a single crochet. So a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then another single crochet. What that does is it creates, you see, it creates a little loop. You've got a single crochet in a chain and a another single crochet, and it creates a loop that you work into on the next round in the next color. Because what we're doing now is we're having to make a square at the back of the heart so that you've got something to work into when we want to make our granny square around our heart. So there's the first, it's a corner loop. So where you've got your corners on your granny squares here, it's manufacturing a loop that isn't really there. So once you've done that, I want you to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then turn your heart over, and these trebles that you've got here, I want you to count and find the 6th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we need to be placing either a slip stitch or a single crochet, but ideally a single crochet into, just to pick up a loop at the bottom of one of those treble crochet posts. I don't want you to go all the way through the stitch like that. I just want you to pick up a loop like that and just place a single crochet there. And all that does is it just anchors the stitch, because what we need to do now, we've started to make a square at the back of the heart. That's what we're going to be doing. So there's one corner loop. Here's a chain ready for a side of the square. So now we need to do another corner loop. So I've done a single crochet in there. I need to chain 3, 2, 3, and then just like you've done at the base of the 6th treble crochet, just find the next one and do the same again. So the bottom of the 7th, it doesn't really matter what you pick up here. As long as it's not going through to the front, so we're keeping our work at the front nice and neat. So there's the first side of our square done, and we've got 2 corner loops made as well. You can see the loop there that we'll work into. So another chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we do exactly the same again. We count the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and find a little loop at the bottom of the 6th treble and do a single crochet in it. Chain 3, and then the next treble along, we do the same thing. Find a loop at the back. There is no hard and fast rule of which loop you pick up. Just pick one up. Don't worry too much. Making sure my yarn's in the right place to yarn over. Just take that out again, get my yarn in the right place. Here we go. Okay. And then I need to do another 6 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this time, so we've now got the heart upside down. This time we're working in the opposite hole to this one, which is there. So we're going to do the same thing. A single crochet, chain 3, and this time in the same hole we're going to do, let me get my yarn in the right place, in there we go, pick that up, and then a single crochet, and then finally I just need to do my last chain 6, 4, 5, 6, and then all I need to do is just join it with a slip stitch at the bottom of this, in this loop here, so somewhere around the first single crochet. It doesn't really matter as long as it's joined with a slip stitch. You can just put it into that loop if you find it easier, and then we fasten off this colour. It's helpful to weave the ends in at this point, so I'm not going to do that though, just so I can show you quickly. You should now have at the back of your heart 4 chains that create a square, and then on each corner there should be a little loop created, so we've got corner loops, so that we can square off our piece of work here. So I'll just start you off on the next round of the granny square. So it's round 2 the granny square, and this is where we bring in our next colour. So we join the granny square to the first chain space of the previous round. So the first chain space was here, so this is the chain space. This is what I mean by the little loop that we made. So I made a loop in that corner, so I want to join my yarn to there, and I do a chain 4. One, 2, 3 and 4, and then I do 3 double crochets into the same loop. So I've got the heart facing towards me whilst I'm doing this, and then we sort of keep it facing towards you, but you have to keep sort of tilting it to get to the back. So don't work on it from the back, keep it facing towards you. So I've done my chain 4 and my 3, I've done my 3, no, one more double crochet there, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet around the chain 6. So that's this here. So this chain, we're just going to double crochet around it. I'm going to do another 3 there. So 1, 2, and 3. So again, I'm working with the front of the heart in front of me, and then the back of the heart looks like that. So you continue to follow the pattern around, working in those corner loops and under these chains, and once you've done that, it becomes a lot easier because you're just at a granny square kind of a general granny square pattern. So hopefully that's given you enough information to get you going with anything that you're stuck on. Let me know if you need anything else. Thanks.